Looking at dispositions, what four words would you like your colleagues to describe you? The first word, I would say creative. I feel this word fits me because I'm always looking for ways to design learning experiences that go beyond the textbook. For example, every year I take on the responsibility of creating gallery walks, station activities, and hands on projects that let students move, interact, and think critically about social studies standards. I know that every student does not learn the same, so I give them visuals, sentence starters, or different assignments that still let them connect to the content. Also, I try to find their interest and create lessons that spark their interest. And so I just feel like creativity is a word that will describe me because I'm always looking for ticket out the doors that are engaging, creative projects or activities that require collaboration, like fishbowl discussions. So to me, being creative is about taking the standards we're responsible for and thinking outside the box so students can experience them in different ways. So creativity is my first word. The second word is hardworking. Every day brings demands such as lesson planning, grading, meetings, parent communication, and students and supporting students. So I think you have to be a hard worker. Hard work shows commitment not only to professional growth but also to the success of everyone around me. So, for example, when preparing for a summative assessment, I spend time after school creating differentiated study guides, assessments, so that all students have what they need to succeed. And even when I'm tired, um, I know that extra effort matters because it directly supports students' confidence and achievement. Among colleagues, I've stayed late to help set up gallery walks or shared resources for upcoming observations. These acts take time and energy, but they reflect my belief that hard work is what keeps a classroom and a school moving forward. So I would say hard work. The third word that would describe me is I'm always positive. I don't think middle school you need to be a negative teacher. So I choose positive because I intentionally try to be the person who lifts others up rather than adds to the weight they are already carrying. So teacher can be demanding. We have a lot of grading to do. Behavior issues arise. So I think being a positive role model for students and other colleagues, and I think that that helps. And I think positivity matters in a school setting because it influences the culture of the classroom and the team environment. A positive teacher helps students believe in themselves even when they struggle and sets the emotional climate where learning feels safe and achievable. So I would say I'm a positive teacher and positivity. Another word that would describe me is reliability. I am definitely reliable. It is important in teaching because students and colleagues need to know that they can count on you. A reliable teacher provides consistency, stability, and follow through, which builds trust in the classroom and among coworkers in a profession that sometimes you feel overworked. I think that you have to be reliable. If you say that you're going to do something, I think you have to follow through and you have to get it done. So, for example, if I tell my students that I'll have their projects graded by Friday, I make sure it's done. Even if that means staying late or working at home, they know my word matters. And with colleagues, if we plan a collaborative activity like a station rotation or gallery walk, they can trust I will bring the materials to them. And I've been told by other colleagues, we know if you say you'll handle it, it'll get done. So that is something I take pride in. Reliability is at the core of my teaching identity. So I would say reliability. All right, the next question was what metaphor would describe you? And I've actually been asked this question before and when I was doing my master's, and my answer has still stayed the same. Teaching is like being a tour guide. So, because I teach social studies, the metaphor just feels right, just like a tour guide knows musty stops. the hidden spots worth exploring, and even the bumpy paths along the way. I know the parts of Georgia's history that will capture my students' attention, challenge them, and spark their curiosity. A guide doesn't just point out a landmark and move on, they bring it alive to stories with connections to real life and meaning. That's what I try to do in my classroom. I just don't want students to memorize dates or facts. I want them to feel like they're on a journey through Georgia's story, and that they have a place in it. One way I make that journey more visual is by using a timeline in our class. As we study new events, we add them to the timeline together so students can literally see how each moment fits into a bigger picture of Georgia's history. Another reason I like this metaphor is because good tour guides know their group. Some people want to take pictures, some people want to listen to stories, and some want to dig deep into details. That's exactly how I see differentiation in my classroom. I give my students options so that they can show what they've learned in different ways. For example, one student might create a political cartoon, one might build a slideshow, and others might participate in a gallery walk. Everyone's still learning the same content, but the journey looks like different for each person. And just like tourists travel at different paces, my students learn at different speeds. That's why I provide supports like visuals, sentence starters, to make sure no one gets left behind. So that's why every time I've asked this question, I always come back to the same answer. Teaching really is being a tour guide. The third question is why is it important to develop or enhance or strengthen your own metacognitive thinking skills? Developing, enhancing, or strengthening metacognitive skills is important when working with colleagues because it allows us to be intentional and reflective about our intentions, our interactions. Metacognitive helps us think about how we are approaching collaboration, whether we are listening actively, asking the right questions, or adapting our communication to meet others where they are. In our school environment where decisions are made collectively and time is limited, being metacognitive ensures that professional conversations are productive, respectful, and centered on solutions rather than problems. For example, when collaborating with my co-teacher on a lesson plan that didn't go so well, I can stop and reflect on my own role, being pointing out what went wrong. I ask myself, did I explain the directions clearly to my students? Did I allow enough time for my students to process the information? By thinking through my own actions first, I can approach the conversation with solutions like adjusting the pace rather than placing blame. This reflective approach keeps the dialogue constructive and focuses on improving instruction for our students. It also models professionalism and growth mindset, showing others that we are willing to reflect on our own role in the team, on the team. For yourself as a teacher leader, for me as a teacher leader, developing metacognitive skills is even more critical. Teaching requires constant decision making about pacing, differentiation, relationships, and instructional strategies. So, as a teacher leader, people look to me not just for ideas, but also for consistency. By strengthening my metacognitive skills, I am better able to model reflective practice for students and colleagues. It means I can acknowledge mistakes, learn from them, and turn them into opportunities for growth. All right, the last question was which generation are you in and what strengths do the other two generations possess? What can they bring to the table based on this research as found in our text? So I am a Gen X, but I believe baby boomers often bring a wealth of experience and stability to school environment. One of the greatest strengths, I think, is their dedication. Many of these teachers have spent decades in the classroom, showing commitment to the students, schools, and communities. That level of consistency provides a model of professionalism for younger educators. So I think dedication. They are also strong team members. They've worked through different educational things that's come up. So baby boomers understand the importance of collaboration and adaptability. They often serve as anchors during times of change, reminding others of bigger picture and keeping the team grounded. So another strength is also they are mentors. These teachers have seen what works, what doesn't work in the classroom, and how things have changed over time. So they can provide valuable insights to newer teachers, whether it's about classroom management, parent communication, or balancing the demands of the job. So their lived experiences help guide others in avoiding common pitfalls and in building confidence. Finally, baby boomers also have a lot of knowledge and wisdom. They know the history of the school, the community, so it helps them make informed decisions as teacher leaders. Also, the last one is the millennials. What can they bring to the table? And I think they can bring a global worldview. Have grown up in technology era. They are more aware of diverse perspectives and international issues. This outlook enriches their teaching and leadership because they encourage students and colleagues to think beyond their immediate environments. They value cultural diversity and to prepare for a world that is interconnected. Their ability to bring global awareness into local classrooms strengthens both the curriculum and the school community. So I definitely think millennials bring that global, worldwide communication. Another key strength is their ability to multitask effectively. Millennials have grown up navigating multiple responsibilities and technologies at once, which prepares them to balance lesson plans, grading, parent communication, professional development, and leadership. This skill is especially valuable in education where the demands are constant and often unpredictable. Being able to juggle different tasks without losing sight of priorities allows them to remain dependable leaders who get things done. All right, thank you.